Hi there. I've decided to make a comeback. I deleted my YouTube channel. I can't remember when, a couple months ago, I guess. It's hard to know. Time has been very malleable for me the past few months. Anywho, I have made a decision. In June, I'm gonna give my phone to my father because he's retiring and his work has always paid for his phone. And I have been in the process of decrescendo, la décroissance of, I just could see where my life was going, you know, that I was raised to like follow that trajectory, you know, up. And I was like, but where's up? Like, why am I going up? I'm here. I want to be here. I'm happy here. So I've undergone the process of climbing the mountain back down. And that led me back to my roots, really. I landed in my ancestral home. It's a 3-story home. I live on the first floor where, well, my great grandfather built it with his family, and he offered the first floor to my grandmother when she got married, and she opened her hair salon later on when my grandfather passed away. And so my mother and her brother were raised here. So it was always the three of them, my grandma, my mom, and my uncle in this home. You know, it's quite big for an apartment. And it's, I don't know, it took me a while to feel like it was home, but it is. When I was born in the hospital, and my dad recently told me that when they took me out of the hospital, they brought me here to this apartment, and they had me sleep in the middle room, which is the smallest room, and that's where I sleep now. And I call it my heart center because there's no windows. It's dark, it's cozy, I can't hear a thing in there. There's a highway out front of my home, and I mean, it's a bit further away, but sometimes you can hear the cars because they go so fast. I can't hear that in the room where I sleep. So I truly landed home, and the metaphor of me landing home in my physical reality did lead to me landing home within my heart space and within myself. And I'm sharing this because as I decided to do a reading, it's an ice storm today, virgla. I guess you could translate it to ice. It's like, it's rain that is turned into like little droplets of ice. It's not snow. It's not rain either. It's too cold for it to be rain. So it's ice. It's raining ice. It's raining ice. Hallelujah. That's not a song. But it is raining ice right now, and windy. Anyway, as I was setting up, I decided to be very slow and deliberate, and I was supposed to have Love Begins. I was supposed to have a class tonight because it's Wednesday. I welcome 4 women on Wednesday evenings, and we started doing yoga a year ago, I'd say, together, and we moved to like meditation and mindfulness and just breathing together, and all of us journeying together basically. And it's been a truly wonderful experience. It's been an honor to be able to guide these women and to also allow them to guide me. I think that was the lesson for me as a teacher. It was how to be a bridge. And so I'm saying all of this because as I was deliberately setting up, I was like, well, I was supposed to welcome in women. I'm kind of like ready to be of service, and yet there's the storm. So how can I be of service right now? I'm like, well, one last hurrah with my phone before I give it away to my dad. Blah, 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 coming back full circle, like in my head, that's how I see this. And I had already taken out l'oracle d'Hawaii, for these women. Never noticed it says Pays de Lumière, light country. And I was reading a little bit. That's the point of oracles, isn't it? To kind of open up and see what wisdom comes to you at any given time, at any like pinpointed time. Yeah, I'm here now. What do I need to hear now? To know now, to listen to feel now, to feel. And the rat came out, Iole, and the rainbow. And I only focused on this part here at the top. It says challenge, and then moyen, which is medium or middle. And now I'm gonna translate it to bridge, and then cadeau, gift. And so this card offers us the trajectory of going from inertie, of being stagnant, to being generous. And the path from stagnancy to generosity is the star's wisdom. And I'm like, whoa, this is wow. Like, first of all, I'm not sure that I'm even translating inertie properly. Like, yeah, I believe it is stagnancy. To be inert is like to not be animated by anything within. And then I was like, wow, so that leads to generosity. And meaning if you're generous, you're animated by so much. You have so much to give out then. There's just kind of like this constant flow coming through you. And so you can just like allow it to circulate freely. And I'm like, yes. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful path. And then the way through that, or the way there, is thanks to the wisdom of the stars. Like, wow, that's so beautiful. And yeah, so thank you for this wisdom. The card, then I put it away here, has a rainbow. Oops, so low. Half my deck of cards fell to the ground. That's fine. I won't need those then. We'll see if I pick it up. Anyway, so there is a rainbow here. I remember when I was in England, there was this one time I was in Dunfermline. So I wasn't in England then. I was in Scotland. Yeah, north of Edinburgh. And it was gray. It's often gray over there. It's often gray. And a rainbow came out and people came out of their houses. And I remember thinking, wow, nature always finds a way to bring us together. Because the rainbow's there, you don't see that all that often, and so you chat about it and you're kind of happy and glad to share a special moment together, even though the special moment is not necessarily shared with your closest people. It's shared with people, and that recognition of our shared humanity is such a precious gift. Yeah, so I felt like sharing that. Okay, so to sit down here and offer you this reading, I picked up this card, so thank you to the rat spirit. If anyone else, if fill in the blank for yourself, whatever the rat means to you. And then I picked up a cushion, a meditation cushion that was given to me. And here, the label says, rétrospect. There's a T missing for the word to make sense in French. Yeah, rétrospect. So retro-spect, looking. So looking back. And I think that's why, seeing this, I was gonna sit on it, but then I would have been too high for the frame. And so I put it on my lap, and then I noticed the label. Never noticed it before. But today I'm noticing it, and I was like, oh, okay. So that's why I allowed myself to start this reading by kind of like locating you, offering you a window into what led me to this moment here, sitting in my solarium, All right, so that's enough about me. Or meaning, if I talk about me, I talk about you. So, you know that. But let's have the cards speak for themselves now. Woo! More cards flipping to the ground. Wow, we're leaving so much behind, the old ways of thinking, the old ways of expressing, the old ways of making sense. If you clicked on this video and you're here with me going along and kind of enjoying the ride, then you enjoy it for yourself. I'm not here to give you answers. I'm here to be that bridge, If you're undergoing a challenge, sometimes it's helpful for someone to show us the way, right? To be like, keep going. You're on the right track. Or, these colors are like perfect for you. I see it for you. But you're the one who has to see it for themselves, right? You're the one who has to walk the bridge. You're the one who has to turn the knob and crank up the volume of your own vitality, of your own creativity, of that flow, that creative flow that wants to circulate and feed you, animate you. You are an animated being. You're animated with life force energy. Yeah, you've got your own willpower. You've got all of that, all of the tools. Tools. I said that funny. You got all of the tools, my friend. You got all of the tools. You do. So I'm just being a messenger right now. Ooh, there was a song. Oh, that was the other synchronicity as I sat down. And that meant a lot to me. That was an interesting synchronicity for me. And I'm not going to go into it right now because I've done a lot of retrospecting for myself already. So I'm just going to share that Albatros is a song that I had never heard before that came through on the playlist I put to set up. To get ready for this reading. And so it's the bird. I don't know if that's the word in English, albatross. I don't know if you translate it to the same word, but it's the bird, if I'm not mistaken, that has the largest wingspan. I just touched my elephant. Thank you for being here with us. Yeah, on the screen, you're joining us right now. Yeah, eye to eye. Yeah, largest wingspan. So maybe you've done a lot of work, you know, to find your own center. But now it's time to spread it out. Allow it to play out. Allow it to reverberate, to, you know. So because you've done this, you've unlocked this. Isn't that? Yeah. Yeah. The cross. Infamous cross. All right, 3 cards. Let's see what the cards have to tell us. This was the first one. Emotional loss. So maybe it did feel, you know, on your journey home to your heart center, to your heart space, it was not a linear path. It was quite the journey, and windy, windy, winding. And there has to have been loss along the way. And here the loss is labeled as emotional. So what was it like for you to surrender your emotional baggage? Can you feel how you've lightened the load, and how the more discharged you allowed yourself to be, the more recharged you started feeling? You know, kind of like plugged in the right source. And yeah, I had a teacher in acting school. 5, the number of change. I had a teacher in acting school that kept on repeating, each scene is either, like each and every scene is either about loss or love. Loss, love. Loss, love. Not lust, loss. Love. Love. Amour. Amor. Amore, is it? I don't know. Liebe. Is that German? Okay. Loss, because it's outside of you. Love, within you. And it's fiery here. The flame, the eternal flame. Okay? Loss, love. So the path from loss to love is incredible. It's hard. But if you're listening to this, you've done it, you know? You've made it home. Congrats. Wow. Yay! Hooray! Spiritual union. Didn't we flip love begins at the beginning of this? Or it was at the bottom of the deck. So here, spiritual union, what does this card tell us right now? There is a union happening through the third eye. So as if, you know, these 2 eyes are made to dissect reality in a very specific way in order to keep us safe and allow us this understanding of the world where we know we are separate from all that is. That's the purpose of these 2 eyes. But seeing is not just with this dualistic approach or way, or like seeing does not only occur through this. And my eyes are tired. That's a thing for me because I don't know why. When I'm tired, it's my eyes that feel it first. I guess it's like for all of us, isn't it? But here what I'm noticing is third eye. As if this union right now you're merging the invisible with the visible, because here we can see that both of these people are meeting from within and from without at once through the third eye, right? So that opens a new channel, and then even more energy can circulate and regenerate. Okay. And number three, here we have 5 for change, and then 2 and 3 together for 5 for change again. And so here we have 2 ways of seeing union. Here, within and without, a marrying of the inside world and outside world. And then here, it's a marrying of the energies within, the calibration within. And again, heart center here, focused. And then you see, there's a merging. There's a union that happens simply with the self, because the self already is all that is, right? Only the like outside processing makes us believe that we're separate, but truly we're not. But it is necessary in order for us to experience this human life. It is necessary to experience it through separation, but then we must find our way back to unity, to union, to one, to all one, to source, the real source within, not the source outside of ourselves, right? And so once that happens, then it can be mirrored through various and myriads of ways outside of us. And then the real game of life can begin, you know? And here the word spiritual is there. So spirituality is, well, all human beings are spiritual beings, right? And then fertility. Her hair is growing branches and leaves. And as you can see, there's different perceptions. It's as if we can see the different dimensions on this image. You know, there's multiple ways of seeing this image. And this window, which is focused, it's like face-facing. It's like focusing on the face. You know, we're always interfacing, mostly interfacing front to front and face to face, and we put a lot of emphasis on facial expression and looking good, and we look at ourselves in the mirror, and like this is what we see quite a lot, you know? This is what we see most. But once we unify, you know, also with the third eye and all of our energy, once we balance our energy systems and all of that, then we are able to see all the possibilities. To allow new possibilities to be born as well from the still point of union, from the intersection of union. After you've done retrospection, introspection, extrospection, is that possible? Like, I don't know, coming back full circle. I'm just playing around now. But that was the message. Wow, that was a beautiful message. Do we want another card? I don't believe we do. I've appreciated this reading. It felt good to slow it down. I hope this was helpful to you. I hope that whatever challenge you're experiencing, I hope that you found within the contents of this video some sort of nugget that takes you onto this bridge, which is your bridge. We all have a different bridge. We're all walking a different path. But sometimes crumbs, you know, we spread crumbs, and my crumbs and my let's keep on calling it crumbs, because there's so many other words or metaphors I could have used, but let's stick with bread. Yeah. So I'm baking my own bread, and then some crumbs just like fall on the ground. I'm not responsible anymore for those crumbs once I've kept on walking. But the crumbs have a life of their own, and according to the timing of when they're going to be found by you, for example, according to the place where they're going to be, the angling, like maybe they're like, it's a crumb, it's hard to like point to a direction, but it can, then it's your job to interpret all of that, you know, and to be like, oh, that crumb was there for me, or rather this crumb is the most important indice, what's that word, hint for me right now, if you decide it is. You know, if you treat it as such, it might surprise you and reveal itself to be a golden nugget, you know? Not sure it was the best metaphor? Yeah, you let me know. Whoever you are watching this. Not sure. Okay, let's see. What's going to be the title? What's going to be the title? What have we? Pays de Lumière, Light Country, something about bridge. The bridge, Rainbow Bridge. Over the rainbow. Isn't that a song? What's the ukulele song? Over. Hey. I'm not good at singing songs. I can hear them, but I can't really. But it is a song. Over the rainbow. It's not it. So maybe that's not for us. That's not the title. I just opened it and it says le cœur here. Le cœur, the heart. Bridge to the heart space, something like that. Bridge to Narnia. Have you made it to Narnia? Or rather, have you come back home from Narnia? I don't know. Alice, all the stories say the same, you know, Alice in Wonderland, and they all tell the same story of what it's like to be a human being and to go from lost to love. From the head to the heart, to like shift the center from which you operate to, you know, But there are so many stories that say the exact same thing, because there are as many stories to express the exact same thing as there are human beings. So then it's up to you to write your own story, or uncover your own story, or rather allow your own story to unfold as you remain present and enjoy the crumbs you find on the way. You know, maybe the crumb actually is quite big and there's a cranberry within, and you're like, oh my God, I love cranberries, you know? Zombie, zombie, hey, hey. The Cranberries zombie song. That one I can sing. Can I? I can't sing. Can I sing? Yes, I can sing. I can sing. I'm just shy to do so. I sing for myself. That's why. So now being aware of that. Okay, that was a little challenge for me. The challenge of trying to be generous with my voice. All right. Okay, you take care. Thank you for being here. Mwah. Bye.